What up, everybody? I got Jordon in the house today. We're talking collections. This thing is personal, guys. So, welcome back, everybody. Jordon is in the house. What up, Jordon? We're gonna be giving you guys, we're talking to you guys about collections today because it is a very personal thing, and we've had some conversations lately about, just the uniqueness of it and the uniqueness of his collection and my collection. But anyway, before we do any of that, I want to welcome you guys back to the channel. Welcome back to Myles of Horror, the only channel that's gonna make you scream. So if you'd be so kind as to hit that like button, please subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate it. So Jordon, every time I play that Scream video, I always think of you.
It never gets old, dude. I love that. I still watch that every time I watch one of your videos.
It's funny, like when we, it's been a minute since we've done a video together, but like we were doing it, kind of pretty consistently, a few months ago. And you were there for like the birth of that Scream. And so I was like, you were like, I dig that, dude. So I was like, you know what? I gotta keep this in the rotation.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely love that, but I'm glad to be back on here, dude. I was expecting this would finally be like my slow season at work, but now that it's slow, it's just like meetings, like all the fucking time. So it's kind of driving me nuts, but it's nice to come chill with you again.
Dude, it's always a pleasure, man. You were like, you and I were doing this thing a lot when I first started the channel. I consider this, it's my channel, but like I consider us like kind of like co-hosts in a way sometimes.
Yeah.
And you just started your own channel, dude. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yep.
I'll link his channel below, guys, because Jordon's doing some awesome stuff. I know he's got a great video planned for later today that I'm really excited about. So yeah, talk to us about your channel, dude.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's mainly focused on physical media and stuff like horror movies. I also get a little bit into like collectibles. I've been doing like figure showcases of like my figures behind me and stuff like that. I have some more collectible stuff on the way that I'm super excited about. I know I told you about the Krite from Critters 2. I showed you that thing. He's shipping out on Monday, so I'm super excited to get that and do a video on that. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, I've just been trying to post like it was going like daily for a little while. I've been trying to do like 4 or 5 videos a week. But yeah, come check it out.
So you got the baby Krite, right?
Yep.
It's funny. Someone else just showed me that too. I forget who it was. Oh, you know who it was? Do you follow Cinestalker by any chance?
Yeah, dude. Yep.
So he's a great dude. Danny is his name, and him and I I bought a couple tapes from him, and him and I have just been shooting the shit. And he wants to come on the channel. We're gonna do a video together.
That'd be awesome.
We can, I'd love to have you on as well. But
yeah, dude.
He also I think he just picked that up, that baby Krite.
He did actually. He was the one that for the longest time, that artist, he would only take those to like conventions and stuff because he's in Canada. So he would only take them to conventions. And then I saw that guy got one and he was from the US, I believe anyways. And I was like, what the heck? Like, I didn't know that he did commissions on them. And like, he makes a like adult Krite. And I've been trying to get one of those for like 5 years, dude. And they're like, it's massive.
Oh,
like,
that's sick.
It's sick.
That's sick, dude.
And he usually only takes those to cons. So he told me that he definitely wants to get me one in the future. So I'm hoping I can get one of those eventually. But yeah, dude, like he does amazing work. He goes by Sick Creeps Inc., I believe. Or no, Surreal Studios. That's his name. But he used to make like these life-size gremlins too that were just like the detail was unreal. Like they look real, dude. It's amazing.
I love Critters. I do. I'm a big Critters fan, but I think I'd be more inclined to get a Gremlin because I didn't see Critters till later on in life. Critters, like the cover was something that like always stood out to me, but I didn't. It wasn't one of the movies that I like loved as a kid. Like Gremlins, I loved as a kid.
Yeah, and I remember seeing the Critters poster in the Ninja Turtles movie, like the live action Ninja Turtles movie when Raphael goes to the movie in the trench coat. And
Oh
then I
yeah.
found out it was a real movie, and I was like, man, that looks awesome. Like, I really want to see it.
Listen, man. The practical effects, gremlins, critters, all that stuff gets a yeah, baby from me.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
That's straight up childhood stuff. So,
For sure.
sweet. You got to definitely show us that when you get it. I'm looking forward to
100%.
that. I have the Creation X critter, which is he does it. It's like factory made, but I think he did the mold. I think, or I don't know what he did, but they were like factory made, so they're not like I don't think they're all handmade. If I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, but
I've seen it. It's really sweet.
yeah. Oh, dude, it's great.
Sweet
So like
looking.
I'm good with that. It's like a puppet. So I'm
Yeah.
good with that. I would love I know Trick or Treat Studios does those like full size gremlins, but they're
Yeah,
fucking
dude.
pricey, dude. They're like
I know.
$300.
Yep. I would love those too
So
someday.
anyway, yeah, so Jordan's got a new channel, guys. He's doing some really cool stuff over there. I've been really enjoying your channel. And I think you guys will too. So I'll link that below. And I gotta come on your channel and we gotta kick it over
Yeah,
there sometime.
for sure.
But
For sure.
anyway, so let's talk about today's topic now. Listen, you and I have both we've kind of been on the hunt for a while now, and bolstering our collections, and it never really ends, right? And so what I love about collecting, and you and I specifically, is we both have such different collections. Like it's
Yeah.
really fascinating to me. You have a big figure collection, you
Yep.
know. And so, we've talked about that on other lives before, on other videos before, but I never really got into the figure game. I have some busts and stuff, but one of the things that I love about your collection, what's so personal about yours, is that you kind of went that route, which is a little different than what I did.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's like the beauty of collecting is how personal it is, you know? I mean, everyone has like their different roots, like what they were into when they were a kid. Like I was super into action figures. So like I've been playing with toys like my whole life, dude. And then these are just like adult versions that I can just like display behind me and like move them around when I want to and want to play with them and stuff, you know?
Dude, it's badass stuff, man. Let me ask you this: do you think, because from my perspective, again, like I never got into the figurines, and my sister got me, or someone got me, or maybe it was my buddy Matt got me a Michael Myers like NECA. That's really the first kind of like figurine that I have. It's really the only figurine that I have, and it's fucking badass, dude. I love it so much, but I never, it wasn't until then that I really thought to myself, maybe I do want to get a figurine. It was never really my style. Do you think, for someone who never really went that route, like, or never really decided to go for the figurines, do you think it's like too late to start? Like, do you think, because you have a lot, and it's like
Yeah.
it's fucking awesome and it's badass, but it's a little intimidating, and I know some of those figures are very expensive, you know.
Oh yeah.
Do you think it's too late for someone like at this point in the game to kind of get into that kind of stuff?
I don't think so, dude. I think it's the perfect time, honestly, because like these figures, like as the years go on, the quality like it just keeps getting higher and higher, and they keep looking like more realistic. The prices are going up, but like you're paying for that quality and like the love and care that goes into them. Like overall, the figures in my collection, the expensive ones are the custom ones that are just like handmade by these custom artists. As far as like mass produced ones go, I mean, you can get a really nice mass produced figure for like a couple $100, which I mean it's a good price in my opinion. But yeah, like I kind of just like graduated up to like I used to collect Funko Pops, and then I discovered like the NECA figures. So then I sold my Funko Pops to buy those, and then I discovered like the next level up, and I kind of just like sold up to this, you know.
For
So
sure, dude. I just know you've dropped hints here and there about some of the figures in your collection, and they are pretty pricey.
Gonna cost a lot of money. Let's see.
And I would love to. Maybe one day. I just, my focus right now is the media stuff, which I know you're kind of like moving more towards.
I
But
am, yeah.
I think kind of like your figurines. I have like a lot of busts, right? So that's
Yeah.
kind of like my figurine type thing. But anyway, so yeah, we both feel that collecting is very personal, and you and I have both connected with a ton of great people online and on Instagram and through YouTube and all this good stuff. There's so many independent bust makers. And you had mentioned one of the figurine makers that I had never even heard of. So like
Yep.
to be a collector for this long and still never even hear of this kind of stuff, there's just so much out there and new people every day, right?
Yeah.
Like Jason Hammond is relatively new. He hasn't been, I don't believe he's been doing this for as long as some other people like Creation X, over 25 years. So
Yeah.
there's new creators every day that are showing their skill. I have my Pinhead bust up there. That's done by the Evil Shed. And I don't think, he did a video on when he got back into it. I think it was COVID. When he really started to get back into sculpting. So again, another example, someone who hasn't been doing it for that long in recent memory and is just like killing the game,
Yeah, yeah, he is amazing,
Oh,
dude. Like
dude.
his work is insane. Like I just saw the I think he's doing a Nosferatu, I
Yes.
believe,
Yep.
from like the new movie. Oh my
Dude.
god, dude, that thing is unreal. It's
Yeah,
like it
I haven't
seems like
seen.
everything he puts out just gets like crazier and crazier.
It's
Like,
nuts, man. I
yeah,
haven't seen Nosferatu yet. Don't kill me. I have to see it. I have to see Hard Eyes. I've been a little slack in going to the theater
yeah,
lately. But anyway, so we as always we veer and we get into all different kinds of things. So if you guys have any questions or anything, hit us up in the comments. But today's topic, we want to talk to you guys about our kind of rules here, our do's and our don'ts when it comes to collecting, and things that we kind of like swear by as like what we feel is important about not just being a collector but collecting in general, because we have a lot of experience. And we also, these are things that we've kind of learned about ourselves over the years, and we've in our experiences with collecting and communicating and even doing videos like this and things like that, things that we kind of codes, if you will, that we've kind of developed. Now, these aren't the only things that we kind of go by, but we were just talking, it'd be fun to do a video like this, some of our do's and don'ts. So um Jordon, why don't you start us off? Why don't you start off with a do? So, as a collector, what is one of your do's, right? So, do this if you're a collector, etc. So, what do you got?
yeah. So I have a do, and then I also have a don't that's gonna kind of tie into my do, but I'll save that for when we get to that.
Cool.
So my first like main thing that I have discovered about myself over the years is to make sure that you do pre-order stuff when it comes out or like comes up for pre-order, because there's been like so much stuff that like I've been like, oh yeah, that won't sell out. Like I'll just wait for that, or I'll go pick it up at Walmart when it comes out there, and then I don't pre-order it, and then I miss out on it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and then it's going for like wild money. And I have a great example of this, of doing this, of me actually pre-ordering something, and I think it's no better example than the Blair Witch Project Second Sight. Like, I am so glad that I pre-ordered this for the MSRP, because like it's selling for like $200 now, which is just crazy to me. But like, and the same goes for like figures and stuff like that. I mean, like even like mass produced figures, when they come up for pre-order, like if you don't pre-order them and they sell out, this collectible stuff, it retains its value very well, and it usually just like appreciates in value. So that's like number one for me.
It's funny. First of all, that's a phenomenal do. I completely agree, and of the sense that like if you want it, get it. Like I'm a firm kind of believer in the sense that like I mean, like, save your money, don't spend your money, but like I'm a firm believer in like this is what makes me happy. So like if it's like, I saw people arguing the other day on Facebook. Someone posted a Reanimator tape in one of the video vagrants or collectors, one of those Facebook groups, and someone was like violently angry all over the place because it was like marked up for like 30 or 40, but I don't know, whatever. And people were so angry about this, and I'm like, dude, if someone thinks if someone wants to go out and get their tape, it's not a common tape. Like, it's not like someone's just gonna give it to you. If that's their grail piece, right, and they can't find it elsewhere because it's not common, and they want to
Yeah.
spend, it's worth it to them to spend the extra 20-30 bucks. Like, who are you to say you shouldn't spend that? And it was like people
Yeah.
destroying this guy for putting this price on this. I'm like, dude, everyone chill out a little bit. Like, this could be someone's grail piece, and I'm not saying it's right to price hike, but we're not talking like $100 price hike here,
Yeah, I mean, and the way that I look at it, I mean, like like in those groups and stuff, like whenever people are like bagging someone or bagging on someone for like pricing so
Oh, I hate
high,
it. I hate it.
like let them price it high, and like if it doesn't sell, it's probably eventually going to come down in price anyways. So
Yeah.
like it's only going to sell for what someone's going to pay for it, you know? And
Right.
if
Right.
someone's
Right.
not going to pay that crazy price that someone thinks it's worth, then it'll just come down and down and down until it gets to that comfort zone, you know?
I
So
very rarely like comment or get involved in any of this, but I said, listen, as someone who is newer to VHS, I was like, listen, the honest truth is that like there's been a large influx of VHS collectors of the past 5 to 10 years. So at some
oh yeah.
point, there's got to be a time when it's like there isn't that many around anymore. And I'm not saying it's ever going to be like you can't get it, but listen, like Killer Clowns Media, right? Like that shit's going for like bad shit money, like insane
Yeah.
amount of money, and it's because it's one of the sought. It's one of the great, one of the. It's a crowd favorite movie, right? And so that is the limited edition, and at some point, it's going to be like this edition does not have that many left. And so there's a reason why it's going for so much because there's not a lot of them out there, right? So listen, if Reanimator is someone's grail piece and they want to spend a little extra money to make sure they have it and cherish it in their collection, I'm not one to say to tell them not to. But back to your due, I completely agree, and that Blair Witch is a great example. The Terrifier sets were another really great example. I did not jump on those when Umbrella did the first 2 sets, and I was like, listen, it's gonna have another movie. I'm gonna be able to get it eventually, and I lucked out that they did the set this past October. But for a long time, I was like, I should have just pulled the trigger and got it because, like you said, it was going for crazy money. The same thing with the Blair Witch, and it's like, you know what? If you have to kind of double dip, sometimes it's okay. But it's more important to get to not miss out on the movie than to just pre-order it. You know?
Yep. Yep. Especially if it's something you just really, really want. I mean, like I just have to find a way to make it work, you know, because I do not want to have to end up like with Blair Witch. There's probably no way that I would have spent $200 on that movie if I would have missed out on that pre-order.
Right,
Like
right, right.
there's just no way. I mean, like I love that movie, but like it's the same deal with like The Witch that Second Sight did, the
That goes
4K
for
box
so much
of
money.
that.
It's insane.
Like, dude, I didn't pre-order that, and I'm so mad because I want that so bad, but I'm not spending $300 on that movie because I don't like love it that much. Like, I mean, I do want it, but like $300 for that edition is just it's bad shit.
The same exact way I feel about the Showgirls 4K from Vinegar Syndrome, and it's like they
Yeah.
have standards available, and I'll probably go that route eventually. But like, I
Yep.
love the VSU line, and I like an idiot. I was like, who the hell needs Showgirls in 4K? And
Yep.
I strongly regret not getting it. And it goes for like $200, and it's like I'm just not gonna do it. Like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
spend $200 on Showgirls. It's not a grail for me. Like it's just not. I want it, but like it's fucking Showgirls, and I really enjoy Showgirls, you know. But anyway, so yeah, there you have Jordan's first due. So let me head over to mine because we kind of touched on it a little bit. But my first due as a collector, and I've always been this way, and I've always kind of like more so when I first got into collecting, and there's a lot of things out there that I really wanted. Now now it's kind of like for the Blu-rays and DVDs and 4K stuff. I don't really backtrack. There's no really backtracking for anymore. I kind of track down everything that I wanted. It's really just ordering new stuff. But as far as like the VHS stuff's concerned, or even like a collector's piece or whatever it is, I say do go out and get that Grail piece. Okay, even if it's pricey. If it's something like, again, I picked up the Killer Clowns Media VHS tape. I got it for a really good deal, in my opinion. But like, if that's your Grail, dude, like go out and get it. And I know I'm not gonna bring up your Grail at the moment. You see Jordan's pointing back there. He's got a special video for you guys, man. I'm excited for it. But like we were talking about that pickup, and I was like, dude, you just can't put a price on some of these things, right? So like, and not only that, but what you picked up, again, I'm not going to spoil it. It just doesn't come like you're not going to find that again. Maybe in a couple of years, and you're not going to get it cheaper than that.
I've seen one complete set of what I got on eBay in like the last like 5 years, and like I've seen like bits and pieces of it, but no. So like when you were like, dude, just go for it. You influenced me hard on that, dude. I'm not gonna lie, but I mean at the same time, I'm like I've been wanting these for so long, so like I'm just gonna do it. And it's like you said, like saving on the shipping and the fees and all that, just
Oh,
buying it all at once. Like,
yeah.
and then also like the guy that I was talking to, he's like, dude, it took me 4 years to piece this
Dude,
set
like,
together because like some of these are just so rare, like they just don't come around. And then he said, and then I've had to deal with like buying them and they come in like damaged or moldy or they don't work, and then I got to send
yeah.
them back, and it's like, yep. So I'll just pay the price, get my grail, and be good, you know?
I can't wait to see those, dude. I really can. I'm so happy for you. I can't wait to see them. And yeah, I mean, the other thing for me is like we work hard, man. Like life's tough, man. We work our asses off. This is listen, I'm not telling anyone to how to spend their money because everyone's monetary situation and financial situations are different.
Yep.
I'm thankful I have a good career and I work in a good union in New York City and I make, I don't make too much, but I make enough where I'm comfortable and I'm thankful for that. But it's hard. Some of these things are really expensive, but I'm of the mindset that like if you work hard, you should get, the whole point of life is to enjoy it, right? And if these are things that set your heart on fire, go for it. But anyway, so that's our first do. Let's go to the don'ts, Jordan. Do you have a don't you want to pair with that?
Yep. So this
All right.
don't kind of plays into my do. So my first don't is don't pay scalper prices. There's a difference to me between paying for something that's like long out of print, like paying a lot of money for something that's long out of print, but then paying a lot of money right after something comes out that you didn't pre-order, which ties into my first do. Like I was gonna use, I've got two examples. So my first example is the Nosferatu 4K that just came out. There's a super sweet steelbook, and I didn't pre-order it because I was like, I'm just gonna pick it up at Walmart because usually my Walmart's pretty good about like getting those steelbooks in, and like no one ever buys them. But they didn't get any of them in, and now that Nosferatu 4K steelbook is like listed on eBay for like $80. And
So
I'm like,
stupid.
I'm not paying that, so I'm not going to pay the scalper price. If I find it down the road for a decent price, I'll grab it, or maybe I'll just get the slipcover version. But my other example is sometimes if there's something you really want that's out of print or that you didn't pre-order and you wait, a deal will come up eventually. I promise you. I managed to snag this Texas Chainsaw Second Sight 4K for like $70, which is dang
Absolute steal.
near. I feel like it's
Absolute
dang
steal.
near MSRP.
I was gonna
And
say it's probably pretty close. Yeah.
yeah, and that set, I mean, it goes for way more than it was when it came out. And so like if you just have the patience, there'll either be a deal that'll come up, or like sometimes like movies that are out of print, they get reprinted. Because there was another situation with Sleepaway Camp 3. I never grabbed Sleepaway Camp 2 or 3 from Scream Factory, and a company just put out Sleepaway Camp 3 on Blu-ray, and I got that. So now I have the movie, and I never owned it before, but I was patient and I waited, and it got reprinted, and I didn't have to pay $100 or whatever it is for Sleepaway Camp 3 with the slipcover from Scream Factory.
And that, yeah, it was the all three of those were going for crazy money.
Yeah, and I
Crazy
do have
money.
the first one from Scream Factory, and I'm a completist, so I do want those, but I'm like, I just can't bring myself to spend that much on that movie, you know?
It's funny that I just did a video before we hopped on. I kind of had some time earlier today, and I did a video on like movies that are really pricey. So kind of like similar to what we're talking about right now. And one of the three that I spoke about was Sleepaway Camp 2, the VHS tape.
Yeah,
Because the VHS tape is like non-existent. It's like impossible to find. And if you do it goes for big money. And it's kind of shitty because I have the Video Treasures original, the OG, but I really
yep,
want 2 and 3. And listen, I'd pay decent money for it. I would love to add those two to my collection, but you can't even find them.
yeah,
It's really kind of shitty. But anyway, yeah, man, I agree with you. So the other thing is like that Texas Chainsaw release, right? Like Dark Skies did another one, right? So Dark Skies. I
yeah,
mean, that was a shitty fucking release, that Chainsaw
yeah.
edition. But
Oh my god, that thing,
there will be another Texas Chainsaw 4K, right? It will happen at
100%.
some point. It's just, is it this set? No. So I think there is some FOMO about specific sets, but
Definitely.
you know, I think if you're just concerned about the movie, I completely agree. But I still have that. It's back there. I still have that chainsaw sealed.
I saw
So
that. You just showed that off in a video not long ago, and I was like, dang, you still haven't opened that yet?
yeah, I like, dude. That. I mean, I. If you told me that's the greatest piece of physical media ever made, I wouldn't. You would get no argument from me.
It's
So I don't know when I'm going to open it. I want to because I want to watch. There's so many extras in there, dude. And
oh
I
yeah,
want to like deep dive and get down and dirty. And we're talking. It's been out for like almost 2 years, I think, at this point.
yeah.
And so I want to deep dive and I want to do it the right way, but I've waited this long. Like, who knows what that thing could be worth someday.
Oh yeah,
Um,
for sure.
so like, dude, that shit sealed, man. Like that's a landmark. It's like having a Dawn of the Dead sealed, like a second
I
sight.
know.
Like,
That's another one, dude, that like I'm probably just gonna shell out the money for, because that is a movie that I will pay
yeah.
that much to own that movie in its highest like quality in a
But
release.
they
But
did a standard release of that. That's still a box set, which is pretty cool.
I know I've gone back and forth on that. So
That's the
we'll
route I
see.
would go if you missed out on that big box, because I actually have I at the time I didn't have a 4K player, so I only got the Blu-ray set, which is still great. Like but I thought about getting the 4K standard,
Oh yeah, for sure.
you know, just
For
because
sure.
it's still a really sweet set. Um. Anyway, so that was your don't, right?
Yep, that was my first don't.
All right. So on to
Had a
me
do and a don't.
for my first don't. So this is kind of, it might seem self-explanatory, but I feel like I've made it such a point in my through my collecting, and you know, I have a social media page over at Myles of Horror. That's grown considerably over the years, and I really value that, and I really value the community that I've created, I've joined, and you know, been a part of. And so my biggest thing is don't be a dick, right? Like, don't make someone else feel badly. Like, if they didn't know this or they didn't know that, they didn't know this had a DVD release, or because they haven't been collecting as long as you. The whole point of collecting is to be fun, right? And like,
Yep.
again, like on that Facebook group, I was just blown away at how angry people were over this. And it's like, listen, just have fun with this hobby. There's no reason to be angry at each other. You know, I posted a video yesterday of elves, right? And you know, the fact that I had reason to believe that um, Terror Vision might be doing a release of this. Now, a few people commented like, you know, oh, these couple things actually had a DVD release, and they were super chill about it. I misspoke on a few things, and people
Yeah.
were really nice. There's no room for being a dick in this community. Like, there's so much out there, and there's so many different collectors, and so many people want to like vibe, and people want to kind of get to know people, and like it's just there's no reason to be a dick to anybody, right? For any reason.
Yeah, and it even kind of ties back into like the price bashing thing that you're talking about, because like if someone comes across like some tapes that they think are rare and they list it for a high price, they might not have any idea how much like this tape is actually worth. And if someone's gonna just be a dick and comment on it and call them like an idiot and you're stupid, you have no idea what you're talking
You
about, when they
idiot.
actually, yeah, like when they actually didn't know, like just be cool and just be like, hey man, I think you're a little high on this. Like you'd probably have a better chance selling it at this price instead of just like tearing the guy apart, you know?
Yeah.
Like I mean
I
that
gotta tell you
that
though, like joining YouTube has kind of opened my eyes a little bit, because people have not always been as nice on
oh
comments. I
yeah.
don't know if you've experienced that yet, but people are like very sometimes can
I
be very like blunt
it,
and very to the point on things. I'm like, all right, thank you for your input. And sometimes it's been hard to like kind of step back and like not respond angrily or mean. And I'm just like,
yeah,
why are you talking to me like I'm scum of the earth? Like, I'm just literally just like doing a video on movies. It's crazy. So, you know, I don't know if you
yeah,
have experienced that, but people on YouTube are very
I
passionate.
have.
So I appreciate the passion from people, and don't, you know, I don't want to get it twisted. I really do appreciate that passion, but like, I think tone matters, right?
For sure, for sure.
All right, so don't be a dick, guys. We're all here to have fun and be cool with each other. So that is that. All right, so let's go back to our next do. So Jordon, do, what do you got?
This one is very similar to like your Grail one. So my second do is do collect what you love. don't let anyone else influence your collection. It is what you want to collect at the end of the day. It's what you love. I've always said invest in your passion. Like, yes, it's smart to save money and like don't go into debt collecting. That is not a smart thing to do. Like, just buy what you want and what you love and what's going to make you happy, because at the end of the day, like surrounding yourself with the things that you love is just it's gonna bring you up that much more. And I've always just collected what I want. I sometimes I go through phases when I want to buy more physical media or want to buy more figures, and I don't let anyone influence my decisions on that. I make those decisions all myself. But yeah, like I mean that's honestly probably my number one, even over the pre-order thing, is just doing what you love and not letting anyone tell you otherwise, hate on you. Just keep doing you, and everything will be golden.
Dude, 100%. And like I think like that's what makes it so special, right? Like your favorite movie's Fright Night, right? And you went out and you got, I know you might have sold it. You had your Fright Night figure,
Yep.
but like you that's your favorite movie. So like it's important to you to get this or get that. And like for me with like a Halloween or a Killer Clowns,
Yep.
it's just I I picked up that Creation X boss, that Slim that I'm, gotta
Yep.
grab at
Like
some
this
point.
dude, this is like my heart right here, dude. I had Jerry Dandridge sign this tape. This is what I love. It is next to me at all times on my computer, so I can look at it and just live that moment over again for the rest of my
I
life.
I love that you said that because it should, again, I've said this a few times now, but it should be fun, and you should never ever you know um worry about wanting to do what you love, right? And I think that is so meaningful and so powerful as a collector, right? To put yourself out there and don't be afraid, because like people like get scared and people get like timid almost, like, oh, I really want this but I don't really know much about it. That's
Yeah.
okay, right? Like
Yeah.
if like I'll put myself on blast right now, okay? Trick or Treat, okay? The recent release from last year, it was a big deal to a lot of people. A big deal. Garrett over at Born to Be Rad, it was his release of the year. Um, I had never seen it. I had never seen it before that
Me either.
release. And so, people are so quick. Oh, you don't know Trick or Treat? You never seen Trick or Treat? It's like, no, I haven't. It hasn't, like, it was stuck on VHS and I just never saw it. And so, like, it's just, we're all here to enjoy, right? And everyone's got different experiences collecting. And so I love that you said that. And I really love the fact that collect what you love and don't be afraid to hit someone up or talk to someone about a movie. And if they like shame you, or if they like, then fuck them, dude. Like there's
Yeah.
no room for that here. So I'm glad you said that.
Stay positive. Like this hobby is not something that should be stressful. Like if you miss out on something, like it's not stressful. Like you'll have another chance at getting that. Like 100%. Like I was even talking to you like months ago. I had a chance to grab some of these and I didn't. And you know what? It worked out because I got an even better deal now. So like it's just don't stress about it. Like everything that's gonna happen will happen. Like just roll with the punches, go with the flow.
But also, guys, if you don't watch our channels and you don't subscribe to our channels, fuck you. No, just
Yeah.
kidding. All right, cool. So, dudes, I love that one from the J-Man. So on to me for a do. I think you're on board with this. I know you're not a fan of the price hike, etc. But my next do go on eBay. I think at the end of the day, for me, eBay is just fun, and I think there's a seriously negative connotation around eBay, and people shit on it, and they say, "Oh, it's not even real." Like people just post crazy prices, and like they resellers will just kind of rebuy their own things to kind of price gauge and all these things. That's fine. At the end of the day, sometimes it's just the only way to get your grails, and it's just the only way. Like, hence, your video coming up later today.
Yep.
It's just, listen, I'm not saying it's the end all be all, and I'm not saying go buy everything on eBay. It's not sustainable, but I think it's okay. If you pay $40 extra on something here and there to get your grails, right? Like I think it's okay, and I don't think anyone should be shamed for it. I don't think anybody should be embarrassed about getting something on eBay. I saw someone
Not
the
at
other
all.
day said it in a Facebook group. They're like, oh, I don't buy on eBay. Like it was like they like fucking rare air. Like who cares, man? Like if someone wants to do it, like why are you like better than them because they bought it on eBay? Like what makes it better for not buying on eBay? Sure, then maybe they paid a little bit more, but maybe not. I've found some good deals on eBay, and I think if
Oh
you're
yeah.
vigilant and you have fun with it, and you kind of are consistent, you can find good deals. You know?
Oh, 100%, dude. And like, I mean, like you never know like what's like a seller is gonna say until you reach out to them. Like throw them an offer. Like I got a couple $100 off of my video. What my video is
Yeah,
gonna be
dude.
of later. And like another good thing about eBay is like it's a safe space. Like when you buy on
We're here to
when you
tell you that eBay is a
yeah,
safe space for everybody, okay?
when you buy on eBay, your purchase is 100% protected. So like if
Yeah.
anything, like if it comes in, it's damaged, anything is wrong with it. If the seller won't work with you, you reach out to eBay and they take care of it. As long as you provide them with all the information and pictures and everything they need and show them like, hey, this is different than what I saw on your website or it got damaged from point A to point B, like you are 100% protected, which is that is nothing to be ashamed of.
Dude, that is a
At all.
really, really good point. I didn't even think about that. But like
Yeah.
you're protected on eBay. It really is. Like some of these Facebook groups and some of these, claim sales and yada yada, you just don't always know, right? And I
Yep.
luckily like I haven't really had any negative experiences. Um or let me backtrack. I've had a couple negative experiences, but nothing to
Yeah.
the point where like I got duped on this or I got duped on this completely. I had a couple fake tapes and I had a little bit of mold on some things, but eBay really is not a negative thing, and I hate the negative connotation around it. And listen, if you don't want to do the thing, it's like if you don't want to do it, just don't do it. Like don't shit on other people because they're paying eBay prices. Like again, this is very personal. And like again, I didn't even that my Killer Clowns media I didn't get on eBay, but I did get my
Yeah.
leprechauns on eBay, and I did get so I don't know, so a few things on eBay, like maybe my sleepaway camp, whatever. And
Yeah.
so the honest truth is that like I'm good with it. I'm just good with it.
Yeah, and some people might not be comfortable with giving other people their email address or whatever to do PayPal or giving other people their home address or whatever. I mean, I know eBay does that stuff anyways, but like what I'm saying is like when you buy from eBay, you don't have to do that exchange, like that personal exchange from like a random stranger. Like you're doing it through eBay, so it's like it's a lot safer.
For
So,
sure. So yeah, there we have two do's and a don't. Let's get into our last don't. We are hitting just about the 38-minute mark. So let's get into our last don't, and then we'll send you guys off packing. So Jordan, what do you got? Your last don't of the day.
yeah, so my last don't actually almost kind of ties in with the eBay thing.
I love it.
Don't buy from sketchy people and don't pay friends and family unless you're 100% like
Ooh, it's a good
comfortable
one.
with the person that you're doing a sale from. If you're
Yeah.
using PayPal, like whenever I buy something in like a Facebook group or if someone hits me up about something, I almost always check to see if they have references. I'll have them send me some screenshots of some messages of like completed sales of people saying like, "Hey man, got the package in, like everything looks good," or all this. Like it's just a safe way of doing it. And if you ever buy from someone in a Facebook group and they tell you that they only accept friends and family, they're probably going to rip you off unless you completely trust them or like get some references from them. Do not pay friends and family. It is not a smart thing to do. I deal with it a lot in my custom figure collecting because a lot of us know each other and whatnot. And like I always ensure everything and make sure everything's all good. But if you don't know someone personally or they don't give you references, do not pay them in friends and family. You will get ripped off and lose your money and you won't get the product that you're paying for.
It's happening more and more, and I've seen it
Yep.
in some certain Facebook groups. People have posted a lot recently, and there are more scammers than ever before. And so it's just such an easy way to cover yourself, right? It's like probably $3 or $4, and so yeah, that is a great one. Make sure you guys go GNS all the way.
Yep.
or at the very least, get some references. And I had a
100%.
situation a few weeks ago with a dude. I'll just, it ended up being great. So I'm going to use his name. His name was Billy Bertucci. Okay. And it was in a Facebook group. And that's where I got my clowns media. And he gave me a really good price on it. But two of the pictures that he sent were different. There was like a full sticker on one, and then like part of the sticker was off on the other. So it almost looks like he tried to get it off after he got it, and he didn't say anything about it. But I'm like, dude, like they look a little different. And he goes, no, I only have one copy. And he sent me the picture again. I'm like, but yeah, this is different from the other picture you sent me. He didn't really get it. And so I took a chance and I did it. I did goods and services because it was like half the price of how much this tape is going elsewhere. And
Yeah.
while the tape was in transit, he gave me a tracking order and everything, which is great. But while the tape was in transit, the dude changed his name on Facebook. And so he changed it from Billy Bertucci to Mark Rube. Now I'm going to say everything worked out. So again, there's nothing bad about this. What happened?
That would freak me out, dude.
So it freaked me out, and it was, again, regardless of how good of a deal it was, it still wasn't cheap. And so the dude changed his name, and I'm looking for like where he is in my messenger, and I can't find him. I'm like, where the hell is dude? And because he changed his name, I didn't realize the name changed on my messenger. And so I finally realized that, and I was like, yo, dude, how come you changed your name on here? And again, he sent tracking and everything. So I had tracking, but it wasn't arriving. It had said coming out. It was like out for delivery, and then it said it went back to like the regular tracking. So a few more days went by, and it just seemed lost. I'm like, there's something shady going on. This thing still hasn't come, and he changed his name. And so he had said that a lot of people were ragging on him because he would sell tapes constantly for cheaper than they other people were selling them, and people were getting mad. So he got like banned from groups. This is what he told me, and so to me, that's like I didn't know what to think. The guy changed his name. The tape was lost, so I was just like, at this point, nothing really I could do. But I do have the tracking, and lo and behold, the tape came. About a couple days later, and it was a great transaction. And as I reflected on it, he was like the nicest guy, and he was checking in all the time. And I was scared, but he really was a nice guy. But it happens. Like these things happen, and so definitely cover yourself. I think that's a great one, Jordon. So let's get to my last don't. And we kind of touched on it a little bit, but like we said, collecting is personal, collecting is fun. Guys, don't stress about things. Don't make this hobby something it's not. Don't make this hobby worrisome. I had a minor freak out when I first got into VHS about mold and all that jazz. And someone had to remind me, like, dude, this is supposed to be fun. Take a step back, just try and enjoy it. And that was really helpful for me because I was like, oh my God, like I didn't know about this though. What if all these tapes have mold? What if I can't get them to play, yada, yada. And it's like, yes, it's a big deal. And yes, it matters, but there's a way to resolve it. Like you can figure it out. And the bottom line is just to enjoy it. Like if you make yourself crazy about all these little things, or like, the quality of like a picture on some things, or like your slip cover condition. These are little things that can really drive you nuts. And just remember to step back and don't make yourself crazy and just have fun with the hobby,
Yeah, dude, for sure. That's a really good one, dude. And I mean, it just goes back to investing in what you love and not stressing about anything and just having fun. Like that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, we're all just doing the same thing. We all love horror movies and collecting, and it's just we're all one happy family that shouldn't shit on each other and just have a good time,
One big happy family that loves to watch people get murdered constantly and bloodshed and all that good stuff. So listen, Jordon's got a sweet new channel, guys. I'm going to link his socials below. This is Myles of Horror. Let's get to 400 subs. And we appreciate you guys hanging out. We'll catch you guys later. Hit us up in the comments because we love talking to you guys in the comments, and we really want to hear you sound off on these do's and don'ts because there's so much that's personal about this, and everyone has different thoughts, everyone has different views. So definitely let us know if you agree with these do's, agree with these don'ts, if you have some of your own do's and don'ts based on your experiences with collecting, because every collection is unique, guys. So Jordon, thank you for being on today.
Yeah, dude, it's a blast.
And yeah, always, dude. And we will catch you guys later. Peace.